Good noon. Good noon, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Reflections and Conversations with Sandra. I'm loving that new title. Does it work for you? And the title today, My Village. You know, I fall in love with the daily Om. Anybody wants to take courses, you pay what you choose, with their choices, and the courses are top quality. So I would recommend them at any time. But today, they were talking about being your own village. You know the old saying that it takes a village to raise a child. And technically, we are our own child. We are our own individual. And so as I look back over the many decades of my life, celebrating all the hats I've worn. Wow, imagine all the skills and lessons. Whenever you think, Sandra, how did you know that? I've been around a long time. How did you? I've put the hat on. I've done it. I've traveled. I've worked. I've raised the children. I've had my own sales business, my own coaching business here. It's life. If you keep being creative and curious and keep on going and laughing. Sure, I've had those down times, but I can laugh now because I'm up and above those old times. And when the hard times come, they don't get nearly as hard anymore because I've been there. It'll slow me down a little bit, and then I put my brain into gear and change my hat and think my way through stuff. That's what I help people learn to do, when we work together, is to take charge. Take charge, just get organized, get clear, really understand how to decide where you want to drive your own life. So it's really all about having grown up on the farm. We got to town once a week. Saturday night was our time in town, and Mom would get the groceries and Dad would have a visit or maybe get some things at the hardware if needed. And us kids, we'd run around on the streets and say hello to everybody and stop in here and there. And if we were lucky, Dad got us a chocolate bar and Mom got us an ice cream. But, living on the farm, you had to fix it. You had to invent it. You had to do without. You just did what you needed to do. And today's life in general doesn't really push us. We get a little spoiled. Even at my age, I got a whole lot spoiled. But I do know that it's important to recognize just how much of a village I am for myself as well. Think about that. How are you your own village? I had to print it out because I think it's beautiful. Being your own village. Sometimes we need to be our own village by utilizing all of our skills and learning more. I'm just going to read just a paragraph in the middle here. But it's amazing. And I want you to think about your village that you have created over your lifetime to look after you. That, in other words, that makes sure that you have your hand on the wheel driving your own bus called life. Sure, we can reach out and get help. We can give help. But we don't want our heads going so crazy, and we don't want our lives so unfocused and out of control. We don't need it out of control at all. We are our life. So here we go. In times past, human beings learned all of the skills they needed for survival. Today, the majority of people specialize in a single discipline. And we think they're so smart. They're really a specialist and they know that one thing. But the fullness, I'm going off on my own here, the fullness has disappeared because of so much specialty, which they hone throughout their lives. Thus, many of us feel uncomfortable standing at the helm of our own existence. I'm going to say that one more time. Many of us feel uncomfortable standing at the helm of our own existence. Isn't that sad? Your one life, you need to be the specialist in your own one life and be your own village. Drive your own bus. We question our ability to make decisions concerning our own health, our happiness and welfare. And we are left feeling dependent and powerless. I don't go for that. I'll explore and I'll ask questions. But the authority to take ultimate responsibility for our lives is simply a matter of believing that we have the necessary skills and the intelligence to cope with any circumstance the universe chooses to place in our path. Isn't that beautiful? If we can just come back to our own wisdom and have a confidence in it. You see, I don't do anything for you when I'm coaching. I draw your wisdom out of you, and we have some conversation around what your priority is, what it is that you see. And then we find that way to reframe it and get it working for us so we're in the driver's seat again. Proving that we can each be our own village through action enables us to accept that we are strong enough to exist autonomously. Cooking, cultivating a garden of fruits and vegetables, undertaking minor home repairs, or adopting a healthier lifestyle can help you reassert your will. Now, that's just an excerpt from it, but it's a beautiful one. And I'm going to leave you with that. Many decades of your own life. Celebrate the hats that you have worn and that you're able to continue changing. And imagine all the skills and lessons you have learned and practiced. And yes, we can reach out and we can give out, but we are able to be our own village. Imagine the magic when you take charge. Coach Sandra, Compassionate Queen of Straight Talk. You can do it, and you know that I can help. Let's work together. Have a great weekend.